Hello! In today's video, I'm going to be building the frame for my new outfeed/assembly table. This is going to be at least a two-part series on completing this project. I decided to build the frame out of pine, mainly to keep the cost down. Plus I planned on painting it and think there should be a crime about painting nice hardwoods. So far I'm into this at least $60. Bought all the material at Home Depot. It's all construction grade lumber. Stacked it up and let it dry for a couple weeks before I started. So we're going to start the video out by rough cutting some of this lumber up and then milling it all to size. I'm going to start off with all the 2x4s and 2x6s. They've been sitting there for about 5 weeks drying out. Then we're going to get everything rough cut up to size. Then we're going to run them all through the joiner. First, I like to check and make sure that that fence is square every time. I leave a little square with a magnet on it that I can just put on the back there. And we'll run them all through the joiner and get two sides of every board square. Then we'll run everything through the planer. So now we got 3 square sides. Then we'll run everything through the table saw to get, now we got 4 square sides. Sorry if you guys can hear some creaking and cracking. It's really windy here today. And out in the shop you can hear the doors all flexing. Now that we got everything cut to size, roughly cut to size, we're going to get everything glued up. Really do think I should have done this in 2 separate glue ups. I think trying to do them all in one shot was a little much. If I did it again, I would definitely do it in 2 separate glue ups. After we get the clamps all on, get them all squeezed up and get all the glue squeezing out of them and let them sit overnight, and then we'll come back the next day and scrape all that squeeze out off. Then we run everything back through the joiner and planer again. Tried to make these as big as possible. These are the 2x6s. I wanted to get the legs as big as I could. So I was trying to take as little material off as possible before the glue up so that I'd have some more room to square them all up once they were glued. Ended up being 5 inches by 4 1/4 inches. Now I'm going to make a quick and dirty mortising jig. I don't like to make and keep jigs. They tend to take up a lot of space. I used to do it and I had a whole bunch of them. Some of them I used, some of them I didn't, but you end up having too many of them. These mortising jigs lately, I've just been making them as I need them. I do think I am going to make a permanent one though here shortly that I can use. I've seen quite a few different styles of them and I think it would be a good idea. I'm going to cut all of these to length to make sure everything's the same size. I do need to make 2 of these jigs because I am going to put mortises in different spots on these legs. I'm going to use a 3/4 inch router template guide bushing to make these mortises with a half inch bit in the router. It'll just slip over the leg, clamp it down, and cut the mortises. See here how quick and easy it is to put away the clamps with my little clamp storage rack here. If you're interested in this, maybe check out my last video on some clamp storage solutions. Now we're going to cut all the legs to their final length. You'll notice here my legs are all a different length. That's because the floor in my shop is extremely angled. So I need to make them different lengths so the leveling feet will actually be able to reach. Now we're going to cut all of the mortises in all the legs. There's going to be 4 mortises in each leg, and they're going to be in different spots. That's so the tenons don't hit each other into the middle of the leg. I like to make these cuts at about 1/4 inch at a time, just slowly reaching the final depth. Always want to make the depth a little deeper than the tenon's going to be long, just to make sure there's a little room if you have some excessive glue in there. Now I'm going to rough cut all the side skirts and side stretchers up to size. Notice there's a lot of back and forth doing the same thing. It really is enjoyable for me. This is a fun hobby, and it really is a really big stress reliever for me. And then we do the same thing, run them all through the joiner, get 2 flat sides, run them through the planer, 3, and there's 4. Get the dado stack in the table saw here so we can cut those tenons on the stretchers and the side skirts. And we'll set the height and run them all through. I decided to put the leveling feet in before I put the table together. I didn't want to have to flip this thing over a million times. I ended up having to do it quite a few times anyways from when I painted it, but I thought it would be easier to put them in now. I'm not sure it was. Going to cut a 45 chamfer on the bottom of all the legs. Then I decided to put one up on the outside of all the legs as well, just in case it gets hit or anything. It won't split the wood, and when you're painting, you really don't like those real sharp corners. And you're not going to see it in this video, but I really screwed up right here. Remember when I said the legs are different size? Yeah, I'm gluing together the wrong legs right now. Unfortunately, I had just turned the camera off when I realized it, and I didn't get it on film, the mad scramble I made. It was unfortunate. I was only planning on gluing up one side at a time, but then I had glue in the mortises on the wrong leg, so I had to mad scramble to get both the sides all glued up at once. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on film. I didn't think to turn the camera back on. It would have been quite comical to watch me run all around. Now I'm going to do some excellent filming here and totally not get that in the shot. Just check to make sure everything's square here. Now we're going to mill up the front and rear skirts and stretchers. Had a little bit of a different idea here. I had to cut the tenons in all these long boards. It's not safe to do on my table saw. I didn't want to make a million cuts with my miter saw, so I figured I was just going to clamp them all together, and we're going to cut them all at once with the router. This actually worked out really well. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it like this before. Generally, that makes me think that there's a reason why you don't. It actually worked out really good. I was able to cut all of the tenons on all of my stretchers all at the same time. When I'm doing stuff like this, I like to make little practice passes just to see how it's going to work out. Worked out really well. I think it's pretty much a given this will only work if all of your boards are milled to the exact same size and everything can sit flat on your bench there though. I just did one side at a time, then I rotated the boards 180 degrees, did the other side, rotated them 90, did the tops, and again then I did the bottoms. Also put 2 extra boards offcuts on the outside and the inside there, just to help keep any blowout and splintering from happening. Plus it gives you a little extra support with the router. Worked really well. I was considering making a jig to do all of these separately, but man, this was a lot easier. Worked great. I like to just round over the edges with a rasp and some sandpaper. I have cut a test mortise in one of the offcuts of the legs there, just to make sure everything fits perfectly. Worked out perfect. Man, does that make a lot of sawdust though. Now I need to cut some mortises in the center of all of those stretchers and aprons. I just did this with a little guide that I clamped down. Thought I'd do it the same way. Just clamped them all together, clamped a guide on there for myself, marked where all the mortises were going to go, and just free-handed where the start and stops were. Worked out really well. Now I'm going to cut the half laps in both of the center legs. Also have an offcut there, just so I can test to make sure everything's fitting right. Now I'll cut the tenons in the center support. Okay, here we go. A little bit nervous about this part. This could be quite comical. I really should have cleaned this area out a little better and gave myself a little more room. I don't know why I can get something in my head and I just go for it. Could have moved that old table out of the way, made this a lot easier on myself. Now that I got all of the stretchers and the skirts on, I'm going to put in the cross braces. Next, I'm going to clamp the center legs on. I didn't want to glue them on right now because I need them to be in the dead center of the thing, and I figured it would be easier if I did them after the fact when the rest of the frame was all glued up and dried. It actually worked out really well this way. I needed in there to support it when I tilted it over to put the end legs on. Just getting it all clamped up, making sure it's all square. On the top. That went way better than I was hoping. I got the middle legs all glued up. I'm going to put a coat of primer on first. Wanted to make sure I got the bottom of the legs and the bottom side primered up first. It's just way easier to tilt it up on its side and do it this way than it is to try to lay on the ground so I can paint the bottom of all those stretchers. It actually wasn't too bad to tilt it back and forth. It's not that heavy at this point. Once the primer's all dry, you just gave it a real quick sanding, and then I'll do the exact same thing with the final coat of paint. Did mix this paint myself. I am extremely colorblind, so I like to paint things gray. It's very easy for me. I just buy some black and some white paint and mix them together till I like it. This is an enamel oil-based paint, so it does take quite a while to dry. Well, that's as far as I could get this week. In next week's video, I hope to get all the dividers put in, get the top put on, hopefully get some drawers put in there. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope everybody has a great day.